Pat's 2 cents. We are God's Church of Love online. We meet Saturdays and Tuesdays. Psalms chapter 62, starting at verse 1. Truly my soul waiteth upon God. From him cometh my salvation. He only is my rock and my salvation. He is my defense. I shall not be greatly moved. How long will ye imagine mischief against the man? Ye shall be slain all of you. As a bowing wall shall ye be, and as a tottering fence. They only consult to cast him down from his excellency. They delight in lies. They bless with their mouth, but they curse inwardly. Selah. My soul, wait thou only upon God, for my expectation is from him. He only is my rock and my salvation. He is my defense. I shall not be moved. In God is my salvation and my glory. The rock of my strength and my refuge is in him. Now, verse 8, check this out. Trust in him at all times, ye people. Pour out your heart before him. God is a refuge for us. All right, now I want to stop right here real quick. Years ago, just to give you a quick example, I'm going to talk about my natural father, John Love. John Love was a very insightful and sensitive man. He was a man's man. And he was the kind that watched people. That's who I get that from. Now, John Love, I call him Pop. Pop would come in the room when it was a nice sunny day outside, just to share what I mean. I'm trying to give you a picture of God from a human standpoint. A lot of you see God as a big bad boogie bear, a big bad bouncer that'll bounce you out the kingdom as soon as you blow it one time. All right. Here I was in my bedroom playing with my toys. And my father, he opens the door and asks me what I'm doing. And I told him. He said, why? He said, the sun's shining outside. The weather's good outside. Who's picking on you? I never told him anybody was picking on me. But he could always tell when I started to get by myself on a day when he knew his little brat would want to be outside romping and running and playing and having fun. He knew I was an outdoors person. So to see me sitting in my room playing by myself, which I could do very easily, he knew for me to choose that over being outside in the summertime, somebody was picking on me. I didn't need to give him the 411. He knew exactly what was going on. What I'm trying to say to you is, even though God knows, he knows what's going on with you. Yes, he does. He knows the answer to your prayer before you prayed your prayer. But what I want to say to you is this. When the Bible says pour your heart out to God, do you know that's one of the hardest things it seems for people to do? Is to get alone with him. Bring their trash, bring their broken fragments, bring their tears, bring their anger, bring their frustration, and lay it all before God with nothing covering them, standing before God as it were, butt naked, bearing it all, bearing their guilt, their shame, their anger, their bitterness, their frustration, everything that's got them tied up in knots, got them bound up, chewed up. Now, the problem with that is because many people do not come to God and pour their heart out to him. They do not get the healing they could if they just would. There are times when you eat bad food Your stomach gets really upset. I mean, it gets so nauseated and oh my goodness, you can barely catch your breath. You feel like at any minute you are going to upchuck. So you run to the bathroom, you lift up the seat cover, and you're ready to roll, but you don't want to. So you fight it. Why do you fight it? Because you hate the feeling of stuff coming up when it should be going down. You hate that feeling, don't you? But do you notice one thing? No matter how upset your stomach is, as soon as you allow your body to do its thing and help you regurgitate that crap up that's making you feel so sick, do you notice as soon as you yield to that function, there's no more pain, there's no more discomfort? You might be a little shaky, but your stomach is fine, just like that. We spend our lives thinking we can handle pain management. We worry about the Democrats. We worry about the Republicans. We worry about the stimulus. We worry about the business. We worry about the job. We worry about the marriage. We worry about that kid of ours. We worry about this, that, and the other. And life starts to totally barrel down on us and bury us in a mound of worries, frets, frustrations, emotions. And one of the reasons why we deal with so much fear, so much worry, so much anxiety is because we're not dealing with the crap we're dragging along with us. We won't let that go. We won't flush that down the toilet. We take it with us everywhere we go, even though it makes us feel sick, even though it makes us act sick, even though it makes us lose our tempers and have volatile outbursts. We carry it everywhere we go. We don't take it and lay it before God and say, Lord, take it out. Heal me. This is what I'm dealing with. No, we believe what human beings say. Pain management is the key. No, it's not. Pain, you cannot manage your pain. I don't care how tough a cookie you think you are. You cannot manage your pain. No, you cannot. That's why some of you are extreme high achievers, or some of you are extremely lazy, or some of you are extremely fearful. Some of you are extremely high strung. Any little thing can get you to blow your stack. You're running around chasing your tail like a chicken with his head cut off, and you don't know which way to go, and you're trying to put out this fire and trying to put out that fire, and you're overreacting to every little thing, and you don't know what to do. You bite your nails down to the nub, you pull your hair out at the root, and you don't know what to do. You drink yourself into a drunken stupor. You smoke yourself into a coughing hizzy. You eat yourself into the Goodyear blimp, and you don't know what to do with all these piled up emotions that are keeping you sick. Sick. Why? Because you're depending on your intelligence and your skills to get you over in life. You can't get over in life until you get over you. And you cannot get over you until you take you to God. Present yourself a living sacrifice and ask God to help you. Tell God how much help you need. He knows. But there's something that happens in the exchange when you show your wares to God. When you bear it all before God, God does something in the atmosphere that starts the healing motion going for you. He starts healing you from within. You notice our slogan for our church is building lives starting within. Because you can't build jack until you deal with the foundation and the framework. If you don't have the framework and the insides intact, the outside ain't gonna do jack. And see, some of y'all, listen to this. You go through life. You try to be on top of the world. You try to impress your boss. You try to make your husband or wife love you more. You try to please your kids and be their buddy and their friend instead of being their mama and their daddy like you're supposed to. Why? You're so needy. You need friends. Well, go out and get you some friends, but you parent those kids. See, when you operate from a sick perspective, you operate at a dysfunctional level. And when you operate at a dysfunctional level, you make bad matters worse because you mishandle the bad matters. Why? Because you are so wounded, you're so twisted, you're so confused, you're so fragmented, you're so up in arms, you don't know what to do with your life, you don't know what to do with yourself, you don't know what's going on with you, and you mess up everything you touch, trying to manage everything. You can't even manage you. But you want to impress everybody with your intellect. You want to impress everybody with your charisma, personality walk, a personality talk, a personality smile, a person. I mean, come on. Take the mask off. Take the costume off. And bare your naked butt before God and let's get down and get busy. God ain't going to come in and clean up a house if a person doesn't let him in the door. See, everybody's hung up on what's going on outside right now. Everybody's focus is what's going on in the last days. Yeah, okay, the last days are happening. The last days are unfolding. The mark of the beast is coming. We all know that. That's old news. The sad part is the good news is the part you're ignoring because you're so caught up in the old news, the news of the world, the news of the current events. Yeah, everybody's got concerns. But some of you guys are letting those concerns, oh boy, you're letting the concerns put handcuffs on you. You're letting your concerns tie you down. You're letting the concerns weigh you down. You ever watch a helium balloon? Picture yourself as a helium balloon. God's got all kind of exploits and adventures for you to venture into, to explore. Well, what are you doing? You're so weighed down with the cares of this world. Tied up, tangled up, wrapped up in worry, wrapped up in fears, wrapped up in insecurities, wrapped up in anger, wrapped up in pride, wrapped up in everything that pertains to you. That helium balloon is you. It's a big one, real big one. It's pretty colors. Picture what color you want your balloon to represent for you. So you look at the balloon and you see it's on this long string. And the string has a bunch of little hoops to it that you can attach things to. But right now, I mean, you got to hold on to that balloon because right now the balloon's ready to soar. God's got you in a position where you could soar. But no. You want to hook this on to the string. You want to hook that on to the string. You know what this and that is? Insecurities, frustrations, fears, worries, bad attitude, flipping tongue, Your attitude's so bad you flip the bird any chance you get. Going down the road, flipping the bird. That's the only sign in sign language you know. You walking around with a chip on your shoulder. Don't look at me like don't talk to me. You must be out of your mind. You don't know who you messing with. Really. All that old stuff. Well, Daddy used to lock me up in the cellar. Mama used to pop me in the head with the frying pan and laugh at me when I cried. Cruel people, hurting people hurt people. People who have been cruel to or cruel to others. And you end up being victimized by it. But no, you don't deal with any of that. You don't deal with the fact that your family don't want to be bothered with you. You don't deal with the fact that nobody believes in you, that everybody's got an attitude with you. You don't deal with that. No, you get angry at them. But you don't deal with what's going on with you. So your balloon that's supposed to soar begins to hover because there's too much weight tied to it. But you ain't stopping there. You start looking in the rearview mirror and you start picking up some of them old wounds, those old scars, and you start retelling it, stirring it up, stirring up that stink, getting it going again. And now you're getting yourself all upset. And as you think about it and you get upset, that balloon is getting heavier. The string on the balloon is getting heavier and heavier. Before you know it, the string and everything attached to it, all that crap that you won't let go, that you won't regurgitate, is hanging on to that balloon. And now where's the balloon? Sitting almost on the ground. Can't get nowhere. Can't get nowhere. And you think the devil's fighting against you. You think people are fighting against you. You think that your life is cursed. You think that you've gotten the crappy end of the stick. You think God doesn't like you. I'm using good and bad English, so let me mix it up. It's, for effect. If I said it the way you really feel it, you think God don't like you, don't want to be bothered with you, ain't giving you a second thought. Probably sorry he made you. Think about it. You're going through all these changes, tying yourself up in knots like a pretzel. And you wonder why you have a hard time moving forward. When was the last time you took a bath? When was the last time you took a shower? You don't just sit there, do you? You got to work between those toes. You got to wash up under your arms to get rid of them onions. You got to wash all your privates, don't you? Don't leave nothing out now. You got to get it all up in there, get it clean. That takes effort. That takes work. Don't forget, when you get out, you got to brush your teeth. You got to dry yourself off. You got to do all the grooming things that you must do. You can't just sit there and wait for all that to happen for you. You don't have servants to come and do your nails, wash between your toes, wash between your legs, wash up under your arms, brush your teeth for you and spit it out for you too. No, you got to do all that. So guess what? In order to get clean, what's the first thing you got to do, baby cakes? You got to take them dirty clothes off, don't you? And you got to get buck naked. Yes, you do. Buck naked. Now you got to stand before God. Let's get down and dirty. Let me give you a few examples of getting buck naked before God. Picture me praying one of my old prayers. Lord, so-and-so said so-and-so. I really don't like when they do that to me. And in all honesty, I really don't want to forgive them. Now, I'm asking you for help because right now I am pissed. I don't like it. I don't like them talking to me. I don't like them looking at me. I don't like the way they treat me. Bottom line, I don't like it. It gets on my last nerve. I got to swallow hard and pray hard to get to work to deal with this person. Lord, why? Why do they bother me so much? Remember to ask the question, why? Not why are you letting them pick on me? No. Why does that bother me so much? Because you're not just complaining, you're seeking a solution. In order for them to bother you, even if they're the one that's totally wrong, that makes you part of the problem, part of the equation. God knows the math. And he can tell you why things ain't adding up the way you want them to. In order for somebody to bother you, baby cakes, you got to have a sore spot to be bothered. And if you got a sore spot, that needs to be healed. Just because you've always been that way doesn't mean, well, I'm just going to do me. I do me, you do you. Yeah, that's me. I'm going to do me. I always been like that. I never like somebody to do, no, I ain't taking that. I ain't never going to take that crap. Why not? Why must it bother you in the first place? Anytime things get on your nerves, you know what? This is the cute part that we never deal with. Some of us think we don't have any problems. But anytime something gets on your last nerve, baby cakes, you got a problem. Never thought of that one, did you? Oh, yeah, revelation time. Well, Lord, I don't see no problem. So why don't you ask this? Show me what my problem is, Lord. Have you ever thought to ask? If I got problems, show me what they are, how they got there, and heal me from it. Have you ever thought of doing that? Have you ever thought of going to God as your psychologist, your psychiatrist, your doctor, your counselor, your teacher? Have you ever thought to do that? All the exploits you want to do in your life, you'll always have a certain measure of success, but you will never soar till you get rid of that dead weight. Snip, snip, snip. Keep on snipping. How do you snip? Through prayer. Constantly ask God, heal me. They said this, they did that. That bugs the crap out of me. Heal me. You ain't got to worry about what he does with them. They might do it over and over and over again. But one day when God heals you, what they're doing will no longer bother you. Not one of you can say you made it through life without somebody making you angry. Not one. So don't look me cockeyed talking about with your lip poked out talking about, I ain't got no problem. So you think till you get angry about something. That's when you ask God, what's my problem? Why? See, that's when it's time to take that shower, that proverbial shower. Sometimes God may have to just clean behind your ears. See, he'll help you wash. He may get back there like your mama did and wash between them cheeks back there. Make sure you're nice and squeaky clean. So you be whistling Dixie instead of pooting up a storm. But the bottom line is God's the one that's going to clean every inch of you if you let him. But see, some of y'all are like this. I got to show you. Lord, you're so wrong. That's so funny. I just saw this. I got to show this to you. This is what I just saw. Okay, God's getting ready to clean you up, right? Okay, so you sit there, and God's getting ready to give you a bath. Okay, watch me now. And you do this. And God, will you move your hand? You're hiding. What are you hiding? He knows where you're dirty. He knows where you're wounded. He knows where you're hurting. You've been hiding your crap so long. You really think God doesn't know? It's okay. People may not. Half the time they know it before you realize it. They see it before you see it a lot of times. But God knows. He ain't playing guessing games. He knows. And you're sitting up there hiding yourself, being all bashful. Let me share this with you. When I was in the ICU, just giving you a quick example. When I was in ICU, I was like 80, 90 pounds heavier than I am now. Lord, help me get this next 30, 40 pounds off. But anyway, so here I was. I had never in my life been in the hospital, which is a blessing to be able to say. So I wasn't going to get upset and angry because I had to go now. God set it up that way. I had to go. I had to do what I had to do. So here I am in the hospital, taken straight to ICU. I was so happy I didn't have to share a room. Everybody was like, oh no, you're in ICU. I was like, yay! But anyway, yeah. I get in there, and after a day or two, or 3, I forget how many days, after they get me kind of stabilized, the nurse says, okay, are you ready for your bath? All 300 pounds of me had to bear it, baby. Do you know how embarrassing that could have been? Do you know the shocking part? I wasn't even embarrassed. Now, there's no way I'm going to have a roommate or anything. No way. My stuff is my secret. No. But in the hospital, I was not at all embarrassed because I did that work. And when you've done one body to another body type, to another body size, to another body age, you've seen it all, baby. Ain't nothing going to surprise you unless they're from another planet. So all you're doing is your job. You're not going home to my, oh, you should have seen that. Oh, that was the funniest looking body ever. That's not even there. Okay. So what I'm trying to tell you is knowing where they're coming from, because I did the same work, I knew there was no reason for me to be embarrassed. But I'm going to tell you something. I know there are people that go to the hospital. They will not let anybody do anything. I mean, they had to wash every inch of me, y'all. Every inch of me. Yes. And I know it wasn't pretty. That's right. But guess what? I let them have their way, do whatever they needed to do, because I needed to get clean. See, I had practice. I'm used to getting before God buck naked. I'm used to telling it like it is. I'm used to doing that with God. Number 1, because I trust myself in his love. Number 2, because he heals me every time I present a wound to him, or every time he shows me a wound to me. When you know, whether you know or whether you don't know, as long as life and circumstances and people, things, happenstances can get on your nerves, can drive you up the wall, can frustrate you, yes, can irritate you to the uttermost. There's something inside, baby, that needs healing. Something inside that needs washing. That's right. And that's why you must get before God buck naked. Now, if you don't see any issues, if you don't think you have any issues, then what you do from time to time as a maintenance is, Lord, search my heart. See if there be any wicked way in me. Show me if there's anything in me that's sick, that's not lined up with you. Show me if my love tank is empty. Show me if the grace level has gone low and I need to be refilled. Show me, Lord. Why? Because you want to soar. You want to float. You don't want to hover and sink. You don't want to lower yourself for anybody, anything, or for any reason. You're a child of the Most High King. You're a royal priesthood, a peculiar people. You're not to be given to the wind, to the elements, to the atmosphere, to your emotions like everyone else is. Because God's grace is sufficient. So when you know you're low on grace because you smell too much of you, it's time to take a bath, baby. It's time to get before God. And as you get before God more frequently, everything that's going on around you that's got you befuddled, baffled, and spinning, guess what? He'll settle you. He'll settle your nerves. He'll calm you down. Because the first thing he must deal with is the storm that's brewing within. Then everything that's happening without starts to fall in place. You get me? Life is much easier to deal with. Much easier. When you allow God to get in there and deal with you. God bless you. I hope that helps. Okay, I'm done. I'm going to turn on the mic so you guys can chit chat while I see who called. But God bless you.